Judge appellate must have been annually juror has to go motivate gentlemen of the jury trying to find on the part of the that you found, I find, plea bargain notary, Miranda annually exonerate, I must, the court, may prosecution, I must have been, they found, gentlemen of the jury must be acquitted proximate cause, courthouse, I tried to see exhibit offender exhibit trying to find out, supposed to do, deponent, that must comparative juror victim, sequester, used to see, lawsuit, state court arbitrator how are you injunction decree claimant tries to go, less than objection, state exhibit assault, Monday we only got, due diligence, March, January, try to be legalization deliberation, trying to go, contributory negligence venue, contributory negligence court, based upon, law firm, Wednesday jurisprudence anguish, notary public aggravated trying to have contributory negligence to find out up to, appellate court courthouse, defendants exhibit try to do affidavit how to get prosecution members of the jury you found tried to recall mitigate I'm trying to go, court reporter third party frustrated, one stroke, state exhibit third party Supreme Court motivate bailiff. Progressive January affirm credible personal knowledge supposed to be, victim sentencing has to say Wednesday, I'm trying to understand Court of Appeals, firefighter arraign, district court arraign, exhibit testify parole psychiatrist, oath policeman the judge plaintiffs exhibit policeman we find, damages tried to find, felon used to see, trying to see motivate tries to have, and found. Calls for speculation perjury supposed to be, sentenced, versus unanimous the defendants tried to do, witness, grand jury offend, probable cause indictment police report officer eternity used to do, he must have been, police station, bailiff, burden of proving, and I found duress, reason, try to, used to have jury trial, trying to remember, trying to do, trying to, on the record mitigate jurisdiction litigate, and found, judge versus stricken, Miranda mitigate that he must have, sentence, tries to have the precedent, Thursday, de facto mitigating, default, trying to find out prostitution assault, legal, and I found, tries to go, I find, reason, I'm trying to go, you must have been, Thursday litigation in court versus recess, October, contributory negligence offense, notary public ladies and gentlemen of the jury summons, I'm trying to find, grand larceny, century, cross-examine liability executrix, your honor, tried to find out, for the record, that only, February, lien, police department, the defendant's conviction, that he must have, innocence, default, homicide summons try to say, evidence. You must be, object, prejudice negligent did you find, credibility contributory negligence direct examination trying to have, grand larceny, century, cross-examine liability executrix, your honor, tried to find out, for the record, that only, February, lien, police department, the defendant's conviction, that he must have, innocence, default, homicide summons try to say, evidence, you must be, object, prejudice negligent did you find, credibility contributory negligence direct examination trying to have, in court injured, expunge relevancy, June, try to be versus the jury injury trying to be, he must, has to say, in an effort to annual tried to find out, prognosis, relevance, litigate, tried to have, offensive, tries to explain, progressive, deliberating, in court, progressive, trying to see policeman circumstances unconscionable interrogating venue annual, ladies and gentlemen of the jury expert witness administrator XX, malice, we must, you found prosecution used to say, your honor, spectate, police department opening statement try to make warrant, trying to remember, tries to get comparative grand larceny beyond a reasonable doubt counteract, one stroke, malicious, counterclaim, tried to go, Deliberation. Affirmation. I tried to see. Not guilty. March. Prosecute. Comparative interrogatories. Disposition. Immune. Tried to find. Tries to have the administrator. Due diligence. Inference used to go. Appearance. May I approach. Plea bargain. Innocence. Offender. Judgment. Negligence. Subpoena. Dupes tecum. Did you find? Tried to find. The defendant tries to explain default. In the first place. Parole. Tried to find out. Calendar. Try to be. Century. Felonious. How to get. Tries to say. Relevant circumstances. Arbitrator. Patrol. Annual. Stricken in the first place. Claimant. Superior Court. Appellate Court. Less than. Criminal. Closing statement. Calls for speculation. Docket. Police officer offended. Based upon. Accusing. He must have been. May I approach. Affirmative. Plaintiff's prosecutor. Petition. Sequester. Friday. Try to recall. Felonious. Must be unanimous. Vehicle. Firearm. Not guilty. Century. Verdict. Spectator. That only. Acquittal. Immune. Trying to find out. Guilty. Witness. I object. Weight of the evidence. He found. Due diligence. Circumstances. Grand jury. Speculate. November. Groove. Personal injury. They must. Try to say. Perjury. I tried to see. Privilege. Courthouse. How are you? Reasonable doubt. Quarterly jury room. Immunity. And I found. Used to have. The judge. Reasonable doubt. When you found. Juror. We only got. Troll. Fire station. Expert witness. Tried to. Do. Settlement. Aggravating. Used to do. Less than. Tries to have the. April. Judge. States exhibit review. Administratrix. December. Utter. Notarize. Beyond all reasonable doubt. Do you recollect? Based upon. Try to find out. Judicial. Judicial. Police department. I must. Trying to go. You are the. I'm trying to find. Summons officer. Reckless. Supposed to do. Counterclaim. Restless. Used to have. They found. And I found. Arraign. To do this. Innocent. Annual. Third party. Proximate cause. Overrule. Lien. Calls for speculation. Offense. Jury trial. Verdict. Tries to go. Spectate. Because I found. Reasonable doubt. State exhibit. Calls for speculation. To do this. Reasonable doubt. Reasonable doubt. Trying to remember. Proximate cause. Speculation. Judge. Executrix. That I must have been. Offender. Plea bargain. Notary public in the first place. Decade. Mentioning injunction. Try to recall. To do this. Ladies and gentlemen. Payroll. Anguish. Fireman. Progression. Policeman. Felonious. I'm trying to remember. Jurisdiction. Deliberation. Litigation. Patrol. Indict. Try to remember. Affirmation. Tried to recall. Accused. Prejudice. Innocent. And is testify. She must. Burden of proving. Anguish. Affirmative action. Judge. Sequester. Sheriff. Try to find. I tried to get. Reasonable doubt. Prosecution. XX. You must be. Has to say. Hearing. Arbitration. Appellate court. Tried to do. Arbitrate. Wednesday. Indict. I'm trying to explain. Affidavit. Probable cause. Accuse. Tried to do. The plaintiff. Supposed to. Immune. Interrogate. It must. On the part of the. Off the record. Cross-examine. February. Judge. That needed to be. How are you? Immune. Personal injury. Complainant. Sentence. Immunity. Personal knowledge. Automatically. Supposed to do. Counteract. One stroke. Tries to get. Overrule. The defendants. Has to have. Because I found. Sequester. Fireman. Fire station. It only. May I approach. Negligent officer. Furniture. Recess. Assault and battery. They found. Duress. Spectate. Offense. In an effort to notarize. Defense. Credibility. Spectator. Beyond all reasonable doubt. I must have. Trying to have. Court reporter. Settlement. Superior court. Has to do. Damages. Try to have. Testimony overruled. The defendant in certain versus jurisdiction. Duress in court. Bailiff. Tries to explain. Immunity. Lawyer. Arbitrator. Lawsuit. State court. May I approach? Groomer. Felony. You must. Probation. In general. May I approach? Court reporting preliminary. May I approach the witness? Automatically. Homicide. Arbitration. Aggravate. Tried to say. Trying to find. May I approach the bench? Tried to get. Probate. Expert witness. Judgment circumstances less than. December. I tried to understand. Tried to make. Tried to. Trying to go. Search warrant tries to have. Progression. On the part of the annual trying to have courtroom automatically burden. How are you? Cross. Examination. You must. He must. Tried to have testify tries to get. Did you find? She found. Exhibit. Thank you, Your Honor. February. Proximate cause. Exhibition. In jail. Reckless grand larceny. Mitigate the defendants on the record. Defense. Tilde. Injured. Lien. Grand jury cross-examination. Decree. Fireman reckless. Sunday. Members of the jury indict. Deliberation. Miranda. Verdict. Evidence stricken based upon testify counterclaim. He found defendant inference that must have been negligence criminal. Decree. Plaintiffs exhibit prejudice, and is reckless homicide. Due diligence try to be accusation. I must have fireman it only. When you found. Trying to remember. You find. Your Honor. August. Miranda. Counteract. One stroke. I must be. Pain and suffering calls for speculation. Sentencing and find. Expert witness unconscionable. Did you find? Plea bargain. Sheriff. You must be. Off the record. Up to. I'm trying to go. He found. June. I must have been. Has to say. Burden. Allegation. Reasonable doubt. Libel. Court. August. Malpractice. Relevance. Used to have jurisprudence. Sustain. Has to do. Criminal. I must be. Tried to. Search warrant. Try to recall. He must. Calls for speculation. Court. Versus. In an effort to. You must be. Do you recollect? Reckless court of law. Defendant bankrupt. XXX. Try to. Get. The judge. What must. Petitioner unanimous. Aggravated. Plaintiffs exhibit. Federal court arbitrator tried to find. Indictment. I tried to see. Law firm. Try to unanimous. Interrogating. Expunge. Try to remember. Appearance. Fire station. Sustain. He found. Calendar. Victim. Preliminary hearing. Reasonable doubt. Pain and suffering. Sequester. Sequester. Because I found. District court. Interrogate defendant. Prognosis. Petitioner. That must have been. Offender. I must. And is. Affirmation. Jury trial. He must have been. Accused. Vehicle. Satisfy. Tries to get. Prosecution tries to go. Judge. Courthouse. Personal injury. He must. Credible arraignment. Supposed to be. Direct examination. Appeal. Trying to go. Defendants. Tried to recall. Because I found. Groomer. Speculation. Restless. They found. Superior Court. October. Tries to find. That must have been. And found. Police report. June. Burden. That you found. Officer. They found. Unconscionable. Prosecutor. Prostitution. Courthouse. January. Claimant trying to think. I'm trying to. Tries to. Search warrant. Indictment tries to explain. Do you recollect? Tried to say. Reason. Tries to have the. Speculate. Imminent. I must have been. Probation. Search warrant. Assault. Tried to find out. Deliberation. Try to make. I must have. Trying to understand. In an effort to. Trying to understand. Exhibition. Jury room. In certain. Used to have. And is affirm. Yearly negligent. Used to have. States exhibit. Overruled. Felony appeal. Trying to see. Felon. Misconduct. It only. Any need. Sheriff's Department. December. Try to say. Defense attorney. Notary public. Deliberating. Versus. I'm sure. Jury room. Judge. Prosecutorial negligent. Tried to recall. You must be. Accusation. Grand larceny. Establish. Malpractice. Privilege. Federal court. Tried to go. Personal injury. Malicious intent. Statutory. Court of Appeals. Fire Department. Policeman. Preliminary hearing. Tried to find. Used to do. Sentenced. Police station. That must. Imminent versus beyond reasonable doubt.